Hi bookflowers, it's Kristen from Perks of a Bookflower, and today we are going to be talking about Stargirl. So this book has received a lot more hype recently due to the fact that Disney Plus blessed us with a movie version of this book. And yes, I do mean blessed. I'm here today to tell you the main differences between Stargirl le book and Stargirl le movie. If we're talking overall how similar was the book to the movie, ranking it from 1 to 10, I would give this about a 6. There were some differences that I didn't quite understand, and we're going to talk about those too, so let's hop to it. Let's start off with the first weird thing, and it revolves the porcupine necktie. So our main character, Leo, loves to collect porcupine neckties because he once got one from his uncle and thought that they were neat. When he had to move away, his uncle gave him the porcupine necktie, and then later, Stargirl gives him a necktie of his own. So in the book, his uncle gives it to him. In the movie, the porcupine necktie is given to Leo by his father, and then his father dies. So for some unknown reason, the movie makes Leo's father dead. It's not the first father that is actually killed off in this version of the story. In fact, Stargirl's father is killed off as well, even though in the book, both of their parents remain alive. This could be because they wanted to promote this whole strong single mom idea, which I adore, but that's the only reason I can think of for why they're killing off the dads. Next, let's talk about the first time Leo sees Stargirl. In the book, he sees her for the first time in the cafeteria. She's wearing a long white dress and walking around playing the ukulele. As you do, Stargirl. You do you. But in the movie, the first time Leo sees Stargirl is when he's practicing for band and she's watching, which is odd because in the book, Leo's not even in the band. He only does the hot seat stuff. So that's interesting. Next, we're going to kind of do an in-depth look at Leo and how he's portrayed differently in the book from in the movie. Hi, Leo. How you doing? So the first big difference is that, like I said, Leo's father is dead in the movie. Also, Leo's father is dead in the movie. In the book, his father is alive, but he's just not talked about very much. Also, in the book, Leo's role is not as big as it actually is in the movie. I feel like in Stargirl, Leo basically exists as a lens for which we can look at Stargirl, while in the movie, Leo felt just as much of a main character, if not more, than Stargirl herself. Also, the movie does a great job where the book doesn't of giving us some backstory for why Leo is fine with kind of just sitting in with the crowd and fitting in. Basically, in the movie, it explains that when he first moved to Micah High, he was bullied and teased, and so he decided that day that he would always fit in. Whereas in the book, there's never really an explanation for why he's like that. He just is. He just wants to fit in. So that gives us a little bit more sympathy and understanding for Leo. Now here's a strange one that I don't exactly understand, but in the book, Leo doesn't sing. He doesn't have that kind of talent. He doesn't listen to the Cars or whatever. The whole singing thing, I believe, is just a new invention that Disney added on to get some cool songs into the film, which is fine, and it meshes well with Stargirl. And if they wanted to create this idea of being pushed out of your comfort zone, Stargirl really does help push Leo out of his comfort zone by making him sing, but that's an aspect that you don't see in the book. Now let's talk about my main girl, my favorite girl, the best girl. Yes, let's talk about Stargirl. So we're gonna do a little in-depth analysis of how she is different in the book from the movie. So first off, Stargirl wears a lot more long white dresses in the book. I think that they're going with a more old school actual hippie vibe instead of just like a beautiful rainbow flower child vibe that you totally get in the movie. In the book, Stargirl has a mom and dad, and in the movie, Stargirl just has a mom. In the book, also, Stargirl's parents are very basic and normal, and much ado is made about their difference. Like, Leo really thinks that for Stargirl to exist, she must have crazy hipster parents, but we find out no, Stargirl is just her own little butterfly self, and her parents are your basic Joes and Janes. All right, here's a strange one. In the book, Stargirl is much more of a nonconformist than she is in the movie. She does a lot more strange things and is fine with it. In the book, we see Stargirl doing things like singing happy birthday to everyone in the whole school, whether she knows them or not, with her ukulele at lunch. She brings candy for the whole school on holidays and just puts it on their desk. For every single class that she goes to, she lays out a tablecloth, a vase, and a flower on her desk before she gets to work. And she makes a scrapbook for the neighbor across the street just because she thinks he's sweet and wants to have his life documented. These are all things we get to see a lot of in the book that we don't see at all in the movie, which makes Stargirl seem less of this bright, sparkling nonconformist than we actually get to experience in the movie. Also, a weird sidebar here, I thought that Stargirl was a lot sadder in the movie. Like, that's not something you see much of all for our Stargirl in the book. Even when people are like treating her horribly, this Stargirl is always kind of cheerful and bounces back very quickly. Whereas in the movie, I don't know if it was just the actress or what, but Stargirl looked sad all of the time. All right, just a few more things we're going to talk about here. The next thing we're going to talk about is the hot. So there's a big difference in the book and the movie between how this is played out. In the book, Stargirl actually is fine with going on the hot seat. Whenever Leo's friend Kevin asks her, she's like, yeah, sure, it'll be fine. But in the movie, Stargirl looks at Leo and is like, how dare you ask me this? Whenever he asks her to do the hot seat. And reluctantly, she only does it after she has lost the favor of everyone at the school. And in the book, what happens in the hot seat is straight up bullying. It's so bad. Basically, they make fun of her name, they insult her and belittle her in the book, whereas in the movie, everyone who comes to the hot seat and is like the jury is just kind of sad. It's like, how could you do this? How could you not support our school? So, I totally understand Disney probably not wanting to highlight and showcase that level of bullying that you see in the book. It was definitely hurtful and extreme in the book, so they just downplayed it, which makes sense. There was something in the book that they left out of the movie that I adored, and it's this whole concept of a Pebble Wagon. So this Pebble Wagon is just a little cart thing that Stargirl keeps in her bedroom, and she has 20 pebbles. And whenever she's sad, she takes a pebble out. So she can kind of judge how emotionally well she's doing based off of how many pebbles are in the cart. So whenever things start going rough for Stargirl in the book, it makes a comment about how many pebbles are in her cart still. And I think it's so sad that they left that out because it's so special and has actually like inspired me to want to keep my own Pebble Wagon. So I wish they would have included that. Big difference alert coming through. In the movie, it's the football team that wins, right? Well, they start doing good and then they do bad. In the book, the football team always sucks, and it's actually the school's basketball team that starts doing well. And one thing that they don't even mention is the fact that in the basketball games, Stargirl cheers for her team and the other team. She doesn't just go help that one injured player. She also actively cheers whenever the other team makes any kind of point, just to show her more nonconformist nature more. Now, whenever she helps the injured player from the other team, like she does in the movie, that's like the straw that broke the camel's back for them. But at every single basketball game, Stargirl was actively cheering for both teams the whole time. And they don't showcase that at all in the movie, which is interesting because it shows us more of how nonconformist Stargirl is. All right, and the last major difference that we're going to talk about is the most important, that changes the whole entire vibe of the book and the movie, and that is the ending. So we'll talk about the movie first. In the movie, it ends with Leo going to the winter ball with Stargirl, and Stargirl helps Leo break out of his shell by encouraging his singing talent, and the whole school falls back in love with Stargirl, and they all run out into the fields and dance together, and they're all happy until Stargirl moves away unexpectedly the next day. In the book, Leo does not go to the winter ball. In fact, he has an argument with Stargirl and then never sees her again, purposefully not going to the winter's ball with her. In the book, the people at the school seem to forgive her and love her, and she leads them all in the bunny hop out of the dance way off into the distance until people can't even see the school people anymore. But in the book, Leo does not go to the Winter's Ball, he never sees Stargirl again, and he spends the rest of his life regretting the fact that he let Stargirl get away. So it creates the book into being more of a cautionary tale about how you should really cherish individually where it exists, and when you have a good thing, not let it go away. Whereas in the movie, it's more of a, oh, isn't it sad how good things don't always last? And be brave enough to step out of your comfort zone. So, concluding thoughts here. I loved Stargirl book version and movie, but from a scale of 1 to 10, they're only about a 6 on how similar they actually were. Overall, the ending is the biggest difference between the two, making one, like I said, a cautionary tale, and the other a more cheerful, bright ending. Basically, in the movie, Leo's not still living with regret his whole life. It makes sense that the message of a Disney movie would be more bright and optimistic, while the book was definitely more dark and realistic. And overall, I, of course, prefer the book, but can see how children might more prefer the movie. And there you have it. Those are all the differences between the Stargirl book versus the Stargirl movie. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and I have so many ideas for new videos that I can't wait to share with you guys. I also want to know your thoughts on Stargirl. If you've read the book, did you love it? If you watched the movie, what did you think? And if you looked at both, what did you think about how the differences were between the two of them? I would love to know what you think about that. And that's gonna be it for now. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.